Anyways, so it's and here the first of the Atomic series, which is the Tyrant Delta. And we're gonna take a look at her, but first, as per usual, we're gonna take a look at other updates first. There is Victoria Bird campaign. This is important because you can get a chance of getting New Year Victoria from this. So, you know, good luck, good luck. Next up, they rerun the Red Tank Shadow alongside this new Tyrant Delta, and we will gonna go back at it later which one is more worth it to pull if you don't have both of them. New Shadow Precision, New Year Zeta, of course we already know this from the Twitter of the official account for this game. So the next express gear is gonna be New Year Zeta, New Year Epsilon, and one more I think, or that's it. I don't really remember, but yeah, let's hope that their express gear is gonna be good. Next is new 7 Shadow Chronicle, new player level cap, new character rank, etc. etc. Unfortunately, even even with the new 7 Shadow Chronicle, for the newest Victoria, the permanent one, we still cannot farm her shard right here, as you can see. So maybe we still need to wait another 4 weeks so we can farm her shard. But yeah, let's go into the new Delta now. So she is a red attacker. Of course, it's pretty easy guess that she is gonna be an attacker. There's a 10% SP boost, which is pretty standard. Her skill. So the ultimate is called Atomic Delta because it's Atomic series, right? Raise crit attack of all Shadow Guardian less by 20%, inflicts 2 hit damage on single enemy. When awakened, it's become 3 hit damage. So it can buff your class with a 50% crit attack while inflicting 3 hit damage, which is not much, right, at paper, but there is gonna be a special buff that she has. So her first skill inflicts 2 hit on single enemy for the lowest defense. When awakened, it boosts the damage and the defense. Again, not much, but we will see that later. Skill 2, raise on attack by 30% for 10 seconds, for the rest speed by 30%. Now, when you awaken this skill, you get a whole lot of new text, which is raise crit rate by 50%, also raise crit attack by 50% for herself, by the way, not team buff. So yeah, she get a huge boost by awakening this skill. Her passive, which is the most important one. So at the start of wave, raise on speed by 30% for 60 seconds. Each time damage is inflicted by self, 3-second cooldown, grants Tyrant on self for 60 seconds. So what does this Tyrant do? It does for each stack raise her attack by 5% and damage limit by 10k. And each time 10 stacks are granted after start of wave, inflicts 1200% damage on single enemy. It is only, you can only have 20 stacks, so you can basically only proc this 2 times per battle. Yeah, this is really strong because the max is you can get there is 10k times 20 is 200k, right? And the attack also got really high. Although you can only proc the additional damage 2 times per battle, but it's still a really good buff. And when awakened, the speed goes into 50% instead of 30%, and the skill cooldown of this goes into 1 second instead of 3 seconds. This looks like pretty huge, but I tested her when using Awakening 0 and Awakening 1. The amount of Tyrant stack you can get is not that much of a big difference. Why? Because it says each time damage is inflicted by self, which is her damaging skill is only the skill 1 and normal attack. And even if this is has 1 second cooldown, this is 2 hit, so and his normal attack is 4 hit. This normal attack and skill 1 cannot proc twice, cannot give 2 Tyrant even with 1 second cooldown because they will end before 1 second, which is, technically you still getting the Tyrant stack faster because we're not including strike combo here. Strike combo also give your opponent damage, but even with that, it's not big a difference because one action for normal attack and this skill one, it still need more than 1 second to end. So yeah, in the end, it still takes a really long time to get the maximum of 20 stack of this. Of course, it's just a simple testing. I didn't play it really optimal, because optimally you want to cancel all skill, right? And just get the hitting skill to get a Delta max out her Tyrant buff much faster. But with that, you you have like 5 character on the battle, and if you only focus on not canceling Delta skill, then you're not gonna pay attention to any other skill. You're gonna cancel like someone's weakness debuff, or even more important buff. So yeah, that's a really hard one to play if you want to do that. Yeah, I managed to get a max stack of this at around like 10 seconds left on the battle or something. So yeah, it's really hard one to stack even if you awaken the passive so that it gets 1 second cooldown. Which is kinda crazy because if you look at her gear, it also helps her get 3 Tyrant for 60 seconds. So we already talked that she gained this Tyrant stack pretty slow even with awakening, you awaken this passive. But does that mean she doesn't do any much damage? Well, that's the neat part. She actually does a lot of damage even without getting the Tyrant stack as fast as possible. But you still need a little bit of awakening on her. You don't really need this. Of course, it's better if you have, but you can stop at this. Because the other stuff, while it boosting the damage and stuff, it's not really necessary. And if you look at this, the awakening, this skill 2, right? You want this, and the skill 2 is already at awakening 3, while awakening 1 and 2 is the ultimate and skill 1. So if you awaken 3 her, you already get the uh, ultimate and skill 1. Again, you don't really need this, but if you want, you can. Of course, it's better. So yeah, in summary, she is a really good attacker. But is she the like super broken tier you must pull? I would say no. If you already have a good red attacker, like for example Shadowface Yukime, then you don't really need to pull for this delta. And that gonna take us to which one should you prioritize? Is it the new delta or this shadow? I would say 100% this shadow if you don't have him. Why? Because this shadow is really broken for boss battle. This chrono burst is just bullshit. Shadow is basically a DPS while doing parry and tanking the boss hit, which is crazy for a tank to do. It's so crazy that they even said when targeting character from events such as the Bushin Festival or Dark Knight Duel, the damage inflicted is calculated as stack consume times 25 because they're like, nope, we cannot have this shit on the arena because it will just be too broken. So yeah, especially if you have him at Awakening 5, because at Awakening 5, he really gets a lot of Chrono Burst stack. He gains a lot of it because from this is 10, from this 4, and from this you get 2 at the each time parry is used, which has 1 second cooldown, by the way, insane. So yeah, if you don't have the shadow, prioritize pulling him. He is a really good one. If you already have him but you don't have a good attacker, then you can pull for this delta. She is also a really good attacker, but she is not really broken tier. You can use other DPS to replace her. If you already have other DPS, then you can skip all of it. And remember, next event is New Year event, and based on past event, all New Year's character have been a really good one, at least one of them, like New Year Zeta, right? And New Year Epsilon and then New Year Victoria. Three of them was really great at their time. Even right now, especially New Year Victorious is still one of the best support for green outside of full Seriantro party, of course, because Seriantro party you want to use the Bunny Alpha. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the new Delta, whether you're pulling or saving for the next New Year character or not. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.